and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next BYOP for July now. I haven't done a BYOP in quite a while. I didn't do one for I think the last 2 months because I just got out of the habit and I've been very overwhelmed with stuff. Like, if you know, I got a puppy end of April. If you can hear her, that's her laying down in the background. And that kind of just threw my routine off completely, and I just was very overwhelmed with filming, and I had to kind of cut down the videos that I did because I didn't have time to film, because normally when I film was on the weekends or before work. And with summer coming up, I also had so many things. I've been away like every single weekend, and when that thing happened before, I always filmed before work, but now I have the puppy and she's been very kind of, you know, needy. She needed those things in the morning, so that has taken that time away from me. She's getting a bit bigger now, she's getting a bit more kind of relaxed, so I can start to film a bit more before work again in the mornings, and I'm actually filming during work lunch at the moment. So I just wanted to do this again because this is one of the series that I did cut down when I wasn't able to film, but I want to get back into it. So I'm going to do my BYOP now. I have all my single palettes. I have like a couple of palettes that I'm currently working on in my Finalizing shadows. And obviously I have my little magnetic palette right here with my old BYOP. It's not the same as the last time you saw it. I have replaced some shades here and there as I've been using things and as I threw things into pretty pans. So yeah, that is where I am now. I'm going to move this all out of the way and start building my BYOP. Actually, I'm going to start by removing the things from previous month's BYOP. So the lighting isn't the absolute best. The ring light is kind of throwing off the table a bit, but I'm gonna try to, you know, show off the palette anyway as it is. That is what it looks like. But this is what my palette currently looks like. I need to remove some shades, add some shades, and yeah, just kind of decide what I want to do and what I want to add in and so forth. So I'm going to start by removing, actually I'm going to start by taking out the shades that I'm going to keep in, which are I think 4 out of these shades, because there are things that I'm currently working on or want to get use out of. So first off, we have this shade right here, which is from the Through My Eyes palette, and this one is staying in because I'm currently working on that shadow. Same with this shadow here. This one is from the Element of Surprise palette, again from Colourpop. I'm working on this one too. This is the shade Late Night. I'm gonna keep that one in. Also Bloodline here from Cleona I'm currently working on, so that is gonna stay in as well. And then lastly, the shade I want to keep in is CL, again from Cleona. I'm not working on this at the moment, but if you saw my last panel eyeshadows, you can see that I want to get more use out of this one this month, so that's why I'm going to keep it in, and that's also why I put this into this BYOP. So those 4 are going to stay, and then the rest of these are going to go into their homes. So I'm going to do that quickly, and we can start kind of building the palettes. So we have all of the shadows out now, so I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by just putting these back in, the ones that I'm keeping in the palette for the month, just so that, like, you know, I have a good start for the palette, I guess, and just yeah, I have the shades I need in here done. I really like this color story for now, so yeah, I'm just gonna pull up the other palettes that I have shades that I want to pull in. I am working on the Lilac You A Lot palette. I'm working on the shade Imagine That up here, so I'm gonna pull that one in as well, so we can add that to the palette. And yeah, that needs to go here, I guess. That's probably fine. So that's one of the shades, and then the other one I'm currently working on is my Natasha Denona Love palette. I'm currently working on the shade Commitment. Again, that is gonna be added to my palette, and yeah, just getting added in here. So I think those are all the shades that I'm pre-working on, that I want to have in, that I know of now. So we have room for a few more, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pull a palette, you know, one by one, and see if there's anything I want to pull in, and then put all of these back as well. So here we have the first palette. This is a Colourpop Depotted eyeshadow palette. I don't think there's anything really I want to add in from here. I know that I want to add in some pressed glitters this month because I'm going to a festival this weekend and I want to have some pressed glitters just for like, you know, highlighting my cheek and like fun stuff like that. So I'm going to add some of those in, but I don't think I want any of these three. I want more kind of iridescent ones, I think. The only one I can think of is maybe Palooza, but I don't think I want to add that in. So I'm going to skip this for now, maybe come back to it later. Same with the other kind of the powder Colourpop shades. I don't think there's anything here that I want to add in. A lot of these are like neutral, not very special shades, and that's kind of what I want to focus on this month because I am going to like that festival. I'm also going on a trip with one of my friends. Martina is actually on Instagram. I talk about her all the time. We're going on her hen do actually, so I'm gonna pack some stuff for there, and I again want some more special shades for that. So I don't think there's anything in here that I want to pull in at the moment. If there's anything that I'm lacking at the end, I will pull this palette in then, but not for now. So here we have like another neutral palette. It's like my neutral palette of choice, and in here there might be some shades that I want to pull in. I'm looking at this shadow here, which is really stunning. It's not like a pressed glitter, but it's like a really beautiful shimmer shade. It might be quite similar to Bloodline though. I mean, not exactly the same, definitely not, but similar. Maybe I shouldn't pull that in now because I'm working on a different palette which has a lot of like shades like that, so I'm probably not going to put it in. We have a pressed glitter here though, which is actually something that I might pull in because that is like more of an iridescent kind of pressed glitter, and I think that is one that I'm going to pull in. And this one comes from Colourpop, and it is the shade Get Lost. I think that's going to be the first pressed glitter I'm pulling in. I think I'm going to pull in at least one more, just, you know, to have options. But I think that is it from this palette. Again, this is mainly neutrals, so not too much that I want to pull in for now. So yeah, those are the next one. Let's move on to my big Cindy Grace palette, because I feel like my bigger palette like this is where it's going to be a bit more interesting. And again, I'm going to have to put some shades back. This shade here is going to go in because that is already used. I think one shade that I want to pull in, I'm going to get my tools. It's going to be the shade here. I think this one is from the Pastel Roses, and this one, yeah, is Nectarine. Or I think that's what it's called. Yeah, you can see it there. Actually, it's upside down. You can see that there. So I think that's, yeah, that's Nectarine. I want to add this one in because it's a pretty summer color, and I think that will work really well with some of the shades that I'm panning at the moment. And it's, yeah, it's just like a nice special kind of shadow. Yeah, it has like some blue and green shimmer to it, but that orange base, and I think that's really pretty. So that's going to be one that I want to add in. Is there anything else from this palette? I mean, I have some more pressed glitters in here. I'm working on a lot of mattes at the moment, so I don't think there's going to be many mattes in this palette this month. I'm working on orangey mattes. I'm working obviously on my moderations for neutral mattes. I have some green mattes. I have a lot of mattes. Obviously these ones that I'm panning too. So I don't think there's going to be much of that rolled in. Is there any like mauve tone shimmers in here that I want to add in to like kind of build on these two right here? I don't think so. There's a pressed glitter here that I'm thinking about maybe adding in. This one here, which is also from Colourpop, is called Overpacked. That one is really pretty. I think that might be a maybe to add in. But I think for now that might be it from this palette too. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this palette at the moment. I might come back to it again if I have more room at the end. Here we have my green and blue kind of palette, again from, this is Cindy Grace. Is there anything in here that I want to add in? This one here is actually probably a good shimmer, crystal to roll in, because I almost have pan on this, and it would be nice to hit pan on this. I'm going to swatch out all the pressed glitters. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to put out all my pressed glitters, and I'm going to swatch them out next to each other and decide which one to take at the end, and see what I have space for. But that one is also a contender. Another one, or actually another two, is going to be these two right here. So we have this one and then this one here. But also two that I'm thinking about, that I might add in. Because yeah, this is really pretty kind of, you know, pressed glitters that I think I'm going to enjoy both like, you know, on my eyes but also on my cheekbones, for like a fun festival look. So I think those are the pressed glitters I'm gonna consider, unless there's any. I don't think I have anything else in my other palettes, but I think these 5 are what I'm gonna pick between. Is there anything else from this palette? I mean, I have blue, I have that one, and then I have my Beauty Bay Book of Magic in a project, or one of the eyeshadows in there, so I don't think I need many blue mattes. The only thing I could think is a deep blue matte, but I don't think I'm gonna make enough matte looks that I'm gonna need a deep blue matte, and then I can just pull that out separately. The neutrals again from his palette, they're more here in the center, I'm not gonna pull in. Greens again, I have so many in my Bolderness palette at the moment that I'm panning in my Project Level Up, so yeah, I don't need that really either. This one here though might be one that I want to pull in because there's a beautiful green to yellow kind of shifty shade. It's again from Pastel Roses. I like this shade a lot, so I might pull this one in. I don't know if it's going to overlap with the shimmers I'm panning, but again, it's going to be a maybe. I'm going to put down here so I don't mix it up with the pressed glitters. I also have... No, I think that's going to be it, because I don't want to overwhelm myself with too many options, so this one is also done. So then we have 3 more palettes to go, which are like these Cleona palettes, which I have different things in. This first one here is with some of the Cleona iridescents and, you know, vibrant multichromes and stuff. One thing that I do want to pull in is going to be this shade here, because this is a beautiful blue for summer. I really love this one. Again, I have Seal now, which is also another blue, but I feel like this one, they can work together and they can also work in separate looks. And I want to pull this one in. This one is Crown Jewel from Cleona, and that one's going to go in as well to the palette. Is there anything else from this that I want to pull in? I mean, Regal is going to go back in here, so that is going to be in its home again. Then these 2 iridescents need to go back. I'm just thinking which one sits where. I think this one, which is Candela, goes up here. These are always so difficult putting back in because I don't want to, you know, ruin any other eyeshadows. And then we have this one, which is Halo, going back in here. So those are back in their home. I do want to pull in some iridescent shades though for my like BYOP, because I need some more like inner corner highlights and things like that. So I'm gonna pull in 1 or 2. Let me think what shadows to pull in. This one here looks really nice. Not that one. The one that's in here in the middle. Not again that one, but the one above it, which is this shadow here. This one is Spectrum from Cleona. I'm gonna pull this one in, I believe, because it's a beautiful kind of like greeny yellow iridescent shade, which I think will work well with a lot of shades that I'm panning. So that one can come in, and then yeah, these 2 can go back in their home because they don't... I'm not going to pull those into the BYOP this month. So that's one shade. Maybe I want like a more pinky kind of inner corner highlight. That one isn't too impressive. I don't know what else I want to pull in. This one here is kind of like, you know, one that I might pull in. It's like more of a pinky, it has a blue to it, some peach to it. I think that might be very, very versatile. So I might pull that one in too. This one is in the shade Luminaire. Yeah, I think that one might be good. It might work really well with these more, yeah, kind of mauve tones in the palette. So I think that's good again for the iridescent shades and also for this palette. So this one is going to be put away, and I'm going to look at the other 2 palettes as well. So I'm not sure where my camera cut off, but I just decided to pull in Palladium right here from this palette. And I was talking about the last row. This one I worked on before in a project. This one I had in last month. This one I had in my BYOP previously. Same with this one. This one is too grungy and I have iridescent shades. So I think that is it again from this palette. And then we have the last one, which is my Cleona palette. In here, yeah, we have the CL shade. I just realized I don't think I will have room for all of this because I don't have much space and I do want the iridescent shades in. But I'm gonna have to rearrange and see how much more I can fit. But I think I'm not gonna pick anything else from here because I'm working on a lot of clear eyeshadows already. And all there's shades in here that I would love to pull in. I don't feel like I can fit them in right now, so yeah. But I do really want to pull in one of my deeper iridescent shades. You know what? I am gonna change my mind a bit. I am gonna take out this iridescent shade because I want to make more room. I also want to take out... Do I want to take that one out? Oh yeah, I'm gonna take out this one too, which is Crown Jewel. I would love to work on it, but I think I'm gonna put it in next month's BYOP because, you know, I already have a blue that I want to reach for this month. So I'm gonna pull that one out too. And instead of that, I'm gonna pull in one of my Cliona Deep Iridescents, which are these down here. My favorite is this one here, which is Vermilion. I absolutely love this shadow. It's so stunning. I don't know how well you can pick that up, but it has like a beautiful shift to it. Another contender is, I think that's Burnt Sienna, and then we have Ochre. So these are probably the 3 options that I have. So you can see them right here. I don't know if you can pick up the shift on camera. They're so pretty. I almost kind of want to implement 2 of them. I mean, my favorite one is Vermilion, but I mean, that would probably work with both some more orange tones and mauve tones I'm panning, so that might be a good option. But I also kind of want to pull in Raw Sienna. Is it Raw Sienna? Burnt Sienna, sorry. That's what it's called. Burnt Sienna. Because this one is beautiful too. Can I pull in both? I really do want to. I love these eyeshadows, especially in summer. So I think I'm going to pull in both. And then we're going to be back to square one again. But yeah, I do want both of those. I love those eyeshadows. And with that, I'm definitely going to be done with this palette. And yeah, I'm going to put this one away. So that means I have gone through all my palettes. I'm gonna have to go and put back the shades I took from here because yeah, I don't have space for them this month. I'm gonna have to pull them in next month instead. So we have Crown Jewel there, and then we have this iridescent shade which goes down there, and then we have them. So yeah, this palette is also done, and also all of the palettes. So now it just comes down to what I can fit in. I feel like honestly this green can't fit in this month because I have too much. So I'm going to put that back in the palette as well, which came from my Sydney Grace palette, the big one. I'm doing a lot of back and forth in this video. You can tell I'm a bit rusty with doing my BYOPs. Was that where it went? I think so, right? Yeah. So that one is not going to be in either this month. And now it just comes down to which ones of these particulars I can add in. I feel like I want to add in 2 of them, but I just need to figure out if I can fit 2 of them. So let me go and see if I can rearrange this palette and fit more shades in there, and then I will decide which ones of these I will pull in. So I'm back and I rearranged my palette and I can now fit a bit more. I have swatched out the pressed glitters, not that you can see it, but they are, let me move them down. So they're here in order, and here they are swatched out on my hand. And when I swatched these out, I actually hit pan on Hungry Ghost. I knew I was really close, you can see it there. I knew I was so close, and I swatched it out and I hit pan. And you can see they're so pretty. Out of these, I'm definitely going to bring this one, which is from Glam Shop, and this is the shade Virus. This is beautiful. It goes from like a green, like a really warm tone green, into like a turquoise and almost like a purple. And I think that will work really well with some of the eyeshadows that I'm panning, and also something that I'm trying to bring on the trip. So that's gonna go in. Out of these 4, I was thinking about bringing Hungry Ghost, but now I hit pan on it. I don't want to, like, you know, I feel like, I mean, I could bring that still. It's so pretty. But I also kind of feel like I want to bring this one instead because they are very similar, and I haven't really got any use out of this one, which is Get Lost. And I think this is the one that I will want to bring in instead, and I know this can fit. And there it goes. So I think that one will be pulled in as well. I mean, I can't really fit anything else, but I'm happy with those. This one was also another contender, which is more like just like an icy shade, but I don't think that's gonna work as well because I'm gonna probably be a bit more tan because I'm fake tanning a bit when I'm on the trip. And this one I think is too deep, so those are going to go back, and I'm happy with that. But it seems like I have a little bit more space down at the bottom, so I'm actually going to see if I can fit in the 2 shades that I took out, which are in here. So I'm going to pull them out again. We have this shade here, which was Spectrum, I think, hopefully. No, they can't fit, can they? Okay, I can only fit one more shade, and I don't think I want to pull in the iridescent shade, and I do want to pull in the blue shade instead. And that was Crown Jewel, so I'm gonna take that one out again, because I feel like I want that one more. I think what I'm gonna do actually is I'm just gonna move this shade, which is the Natasha Denona shadow, because I feel like that will be better. I basically just want all my clear eyeshadows together, so I'm gonna put this one down here. And then I'm going to pull in the blue shade, which was Crown Jewel again. And I want that up here, which is going to be really difficult to fit now because everything is literally so stuck. But that is it. So I do think that's definitely all I can fit in this palette. Yeah, I'm going to see if I want to rearrange this at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and swatch it out. I don't think it's the most cohesive color story, but I didn't plan for it to be. I just want some like nice special shades to wear on my trip, and yeah, I think this is gonna be really nice. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I'm gonna put these all back, rearrange the palette, and I will be back here to swatch it out for you. So I'm back, and this is what my palette turned out like. I'm really happy with it, and I did actually manage to make some more space. So I did pull in this shadow here from the Metropolis palette, which is just like an inner corner shadow, and I feel like that would be really useful in this palette. This is probably the most jumbled palette I have created so far in my BYOP, because it's not really cohesive, it's not really like, you know, prettily organized. I really like the clear on eyeshadows on top though, they look really pretty. But yeah, this is what my palette looks like. Again, it's a bit washed out on camera, so if I can, I'm going to insert a picture right here, or maybe in this corner, whichever corner works best, of what the palette looks like in better lighting, as you can see, because yeah, I feel like the ring light and everything is washing it out a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this palette out so you can see what my color story looks like, and with that we're gonna wrap up this video. palette swatched out, and yes, it might look like a jumbled mess in the palette, but swatched out, I feel like this is a pretty damn good summer color story. I'm really happy with it. I mean, again, the shifts aren't really showing up properly on camera. Like these three here are shifting like crazy. These are also multi-chromes. So is this one, and this one as well almost. So a lot of shiftiness. You can see a little bit of it in camera, but not fully. So a lot of really nice special shades. We also have some neutrals, which are really nice to mix in. And yeah, I'm really happy with this palette. I feel like this is going to be a really good summer palette to work with. And yeah, again, I'm going to insert the proper photo somewhere on screen with what my palette looks like, because it's so washed out on camera. But yeah, you can see the swatches at least, and they look pretty decent on camera, I would say. So that is actually it for my BYOP. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing this again. It's so nice, and I'm going to have a fresh new palette to play with, and I have a lot of shades in here to play with as well. Granted, I am panning quite a few of them, which is why it's so many shades this month, because I wanted to add in my own shades but also keep the ones that I'm panning in. So it's a lot of shadows, but it's going to be fun to play around with them, and I'll have some really good options for when I'm going away on both of my trips. But yeah, that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and otherwise I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys!